we get to that, I want to share a story with you. I talked about my son on the first night. His name is Colby. You can throw up the first picture. This is Colby. And he's 5.5 right now, and he's at home, as I mentioned. But recently we had a very interesting conversation. But before I tell you about that, I want to tell you a little bit more about Colby. So you can go to the next picture. Colby and I love the Denver Broncos. We love this year's number 1 seeded Denver Broncos. And every Sunday we get to watch the game together. And today we didn't, but I called him and they hadn't started yet, so I'll call him later and we'll talk about it. But the jersey that he's wearing, the big number 7, that was my John Elway jersey when I was a kid. And you can see him wearing it in the top right. He's holding the football and his sleeves are rolled up. He's celebrating Mass in the top left there. Pray for him. He might have a call. I don't know. Pray for him. That's his first football game we went to when Peyton Manning was benched. And I thought it was going to be the last time Peyton Manning played for the Denver Broncos. And so I was kind of like, well, at least we got to see him before he was done. And then he came in today and won the game, and that was cool. So this is Colby, and we love the Broncos, and we're very competitive even with each other, and we play games, and he understands that winning the game is very important. And he loves running back and forth in our basement when we're watching the game. He plays football by himself. I'm not kidding you. He'll like get down, he'll say, "Set hut," throw it up in the air and run and catch it. I'm not kidding you. And then he'll run to the corner and say touchdown, and he'll do it back and forth. Whoever the Broncos are playing against, back and forth, back and forth. It's like, "Dad, it's 124 plus 7. What is that, Dad?" And I'm like watching the game, 132, 131. Okay. And then he just keeps going. He's like, "Dad, it's 368 to 19. We're winning." And I'm like, that is awesome. And he understands the importance of winning the game. And he gets the concept of really big numbers, which is important for the next conversation we had. So here's our conversation. You can throw it up. Next slide. I said, "Colby, I love you." And he said, "I love you more." I said, "I love you most." And he said, "I love you 7,000 wins the game." And I said, "I love you 8,000 wins the game." I see where you're going with this, Colby. And he said, "You can't do that, Dad." I said, "Why not?" And he said, "Because I said wins the game. It's over. I love you more." And I was kind of annoyed at first because we're competitive. I was like, you got me. And it was a couple days later, because he kept saying that, we kept having that conversation. I would try 8,000 wins the game again, thinking I might beat him. And he's like, "Dad, I already told you can't do that." "Why, Colby?" "Because I said wins the game." Gosh, that's so annoying. But it was a couple days later, I was thinking about it, and I thought, why does he keep saying that, 7,000 wins the game? And it's because he wanted to express his love to me as much as he could. And the most he could contemplate in that moment, in that mind of a child, was a really big number and a concept he knew was really important. I love you 7,000 wins the game. And all I could do was just accept that love. That was my only choice. That was the only choice he gave me. And so I did. Tonight, you're going to have an encounter with Jesus Christ in the Eucharist. And he's going to look at you dead in the eyes. And he's going to say, "I love you. 7,000 wins the game. Because I won the game for you on the cross. And that's it. You can't love me more. And you just have to accept my love if you want to. I love you. 7,000 wins the game." And you can try and fight back and say, "No, Jesus." But I don't recommend that. But I want to invite you, friends, Brothers and sisters in Christ, I want to invite you, if you never have before, to take this opportunity tonight and to say, okay, Jesus, okay, I want to accept your love. I want to accept your mercy. Because we're all carrying baggage. We all have a weight on our shoulders. We all do. Every single one of us. What is that weight on your shoulders that's preventing you from accepting his love tonight? What is it? Identify it. In your head, name it. Give it a name. What is it today? What is that thing that's just preventing you from saying, okay, Jesus, you win. I accept your love. And you have the opportunity to go right next door and to give that to him too. To just take a moment and say, I'm all yours. I don't know what this means. I don't know what tonight or tomorrow brings, Lord, but now I want to be all yours. I want to be in you, and I want you to be in me. I want to be one. And I'm scared, but I know I want it. Because again, we can't give what we don't have. We can't evangelize if we don't first know the one true God, the one whom you sent, Jesus Christ. And tonight you have that opportunity. And he's standing at the door and knocking. All you have to do is let him in. All you have to do is let him in. But that's your choice, not mine, not your neighbors, not your parents, not your friends. It's yours. I love you. 7,000 wins the game, he says.